We've got fellow GCN radio hosts. I like to have them pop in from time to time. A different talk show host. And we look forward in the next 52 minutes to talking to him. Ian Freeman and, of course, Mark Edge. They both host Free Talk Live, and they both moved up to New Hampshire to be part of the Free State Porcupine Project. Nice, friendly porcupine, but it's got some spines on it. It says, "Don't tread on me." Of course, I like the rattlesnake myself, but I do like little cuddly porcupines, as they call them, I think, over in France. But little sweet little porcupines. In fact, maybe we should pull up a porcupine Free State Project symbol. But then Chris Matthews will probably do a show about how deadly it is and how it symbolizes racism. The porcupine, a racist animal. Yes, it attends Klan rallies. Show a little porcupine with a white hood on top of it. Porcupines are also known to be working with Al-Qaeda. Osama bin Laden's favorite animal is the porcupine. Coming up, Wednesday night, the new rise of the right and their evil symbol, the porcupine. I joke about that, but there's an article about Chris Matthews earlier in the week did a whole show about how evil the Gadsden flag is. This is an Infowars.com, Gadsden flag. And it's even worse. On the back it says, the tree of liberty must be watered by the blood of patriots and tyrants. And that's how I scuffed up my elbows, was in a fight with David Rockefeller out there during the break. My wife's here today, and I'm acting goofy for her, I guess. That's why she likes me. No, but seriously, ladies and gentlemen, getting back to serious issues, he did a whole thing demonizing it, saying it's an anti-British thing and that the Tea Partiers are delusional and believe they're fighting redcoats. No, it's getting back to our revolutionary history against big government and big governments that are 4,000 or 5,000 miles away telling us what we can and can't do, like Obama telling these governors in Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi that they couldn't go block the oil themselves, and then the feds wouldn't come block it. That's what we're trying to get back to. That's what we want as a society. That's what the Gadsden flag and the porcupine symbolize. It means don't walk on me. Don't stomp on me. I don't want to lick your boots. I don't think government made the sun rise and the grass grow. I'm sorry. I don't want to call you an authority or an official. I want to call you a public servant. All right, we're going to go over some of their websites, but they are here with us today, and they have it again talk show on the evenings on the GCN Radio Network. And I originally had them coming on because they said, we'd like to talk to you in the future about your views on immigration, because we're on about other subjects when I was on their show. And I said, why don't you come on my show and talk about it? And so they are here, but so much is going on. Ian and company, Mark, it's good to have both you guys here with us today.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
Well, I'm good, but I'm a little bit scared by the porcupine that I just saw.
Hey, by the way, I don't consider them public servants. I mean, they serve themselves to your money, but they don't actually have any accountability to what they do. And when a servant is acting like a master, clearly there's something very screwy going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they're trying to sell us on a world where we're not allowed to ride a bike because we might fall off and skin our elbow, or we're not allowed to this girl, 16. Of course, many of our founding fathers were 23, 24. People in the olden days were adults when they were 13, 14. Mm-hmm. What do you say about this young girl whose boat went missing yesterday, but now they found her with the beacon, and now the media is saying, oh, my God, we can't let teenagers rock climb. We can't let them get on a sailboat. I mean, my view is full-grown sailors lose their lives. If we can ban a 16-year-old who's a young lady but an adult, then we can ban a 50-year-old man.
Well, it's not like the media didn't know that this girl was going on her trip. I remember hearing an interview on NPR a couple of months ago about this brave young lass that will be sailing her boat around the world, and what a beacon for femininity and youth that she was. And now that she had a problem because storms come up in the open ocean, that it's a bad thing. But what concerns me most is I hear that there are 3 ships steaming towards her now, and I imagine they're probably already there. And I guess they're actually probably dieseling, but that was the term they used. How much are we paying as taxpayers for this gal to be rescued? It seems to me she should be, she and her entourage are the ones that should be paying for it.
But should she be left to the sharks. I mean, you do notice it's a private boat's going to help her. Government...
Oh, I don't know that.
With its bureaucracy, couldn't even figure out how to save her. No, it's fishing trawlers that they looked on the GPS and found the closest ones. But I agree. I think the family who does like publicity, I mean, personally, I wouldn't send my 16-year-old daughter out in the Atlantic Ocean by herself. When she's 18, if she wants to commit suicide, she could. I mean, it's dangerous, much less a circumnavigation of the globe. Her brother got chased by pirates in the same area when he was 17, and so it is asking for it. But I don't want to lose my liberty, so if they want to go do this, more power to them. And I think it's bold, and I think it's okay for her to get rescued, but I agree, if any taxpayer money goes into this, mommy and daddy need to fit the bill.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
All right, so let's do it, Alex. Let's talk immigration.
Let's talk immigration. Okay, go ahead and tell us your views on immigration, men, Ian and Mark.
Mark, do you want to start?
Sure. What our belief is that free people should be able to cross borders of free countries freely. And there are certainly some issues that should be resolved, and it may very well be that allowing free people to do that would resolve those issues. Some of those issues are things like welfare. I don't think that anybody should be required to pay for anybody else's child to be sent to school, to pay for their medical conditions, to pay for their food. Those are the jobs of charities and mutual aid societies. I don't think that you should be required to send kids to school or to pay for their hospital bills, or hospitals should be required to cover their medical bills, and therefore your insurance rates and your hospital bills go up. But I do think that people should be allowed to come to this country and work for a better life, as so many of our forefathers did. I mean, it's a country of immigrants, and in the past, even though there have been immigration laws since the late 19th century, before that they didn't have them, they were largely unenforced because there were only a couple of ports of call that they actually had immigration officers at. So people would just show up at different places, walk across the border, and nobody ever asked for their papers.
But see, I agree with you, but here's the problem.
Oh, good.
If you have a government that is, saying, come here, have a baby, everything's paid for, and by the way, our Ford Foundation schools are going to teach you that this belongs to Mexico and America's evil, and we're going to use you as a political weapon to take Alex Jones's private property and his guns, which 90+% of these people end up voting for in every statistic we've got, then I can't say, oh, I'm a big happy libertarian. Let's have hundreds, millions more from all over the world come here and raise my taxes. Everything's free. Oh, and here's my guns because you voted for it. It is suicide to have open borders because we don't have a libertarian free state system. I understand in the great free state there would be no state. There would just be free individuals of the world figuring it out in a free market. The problem is I got Goldman Sachs running my government, using it for corporate welfare to literally suck every drop of blood.
You're right. Yeah, Alex, you're right. I mean, the first thing that you said there was that you mentioned that it's the government, and it's the fact that people believe in government, that they believe that it's appropriate to use aggressive force against their neighbors to either make them behave in the way they want them to behave or to stop doing the things that they don't like them to do. It's this belief in coercion and in government that continues to perpetuate this system where the government is used as a tool.
Here's an example. If my neighbors are yelling and screaming and their dog keeps barking, I'm not going to call the cops on them. I'm going to go knock on their door.
Sure.
And then, of course, if they try to assault me, then I'll probably try to call the police because this isn't 10,000 BC, and if I beat the daylights out of the guy or fight back, I'm going to be the one going to prison. So, I mean, you know, do you guys believe in zero government? Because the founders said we needed a government to protect us from another government, because as long as you've got other governments, the minute we get rid of a government, they're going to come over here with their bigger government and make us their slaves.
Well, I believe in less government. And when we get to less government, I believe in less government than that. And when we get to less government than that, I believe in less government than that. I believe that there should be voluntary, that there should be voluntary interactions between individuals as much as possible. And I think what we have today is not an immigration problem, but a government problem. And I hesitate, I doubt very seriously that you can use the government to solve a government problem.
No way.
It's just not going to work.
No,
the only thing you can get is a police state where they're knocking on our doors, demanding to see our Mexicans that we've got in the backyard.
A war on immigration would be the same as a war on drugs has been. You get more drugs, you get more dangerous drugs, you get violence, you get the black market.
I agree. They're going to selectively enforce and when they do arrest illegals, they're going to take them and give them green cards and legalize them. I mean, that's what they've been caught doing already.
Alex, I hesitate to even use that term, illegals, because I think the connotation there is that these are people, we're calling them illegals because they've broken some arbitrary diktat laid down by some unaccountable bureaucrats in Washington, D.C., and I can proudly say that I have broken plenty of their diktats, and I don't follow their rules, and so I would also be an illegal by that definition. In fact,
no, I know, but Ian, there are laws. There are laws. If you jump out in traffic with 80-mile-an-hour traffic in front of an 18-wheeler, you're going to get your guts all over the highway.
That's a law of nature.
Yeah, but hold on. It's a law of human tribal nature that we got Mexico that's lost wars with the U.S., that's fully collapsed under their government, with 100+ million people, 30+ million that are here right now. And again, we go back to this thing of we still have a government, we have all this welfare, we have all this in place,